Alright guys, welcome to another beer review. Wearing the sunglasses so I'm not just fucking squinting at the camera like I usually do when I'm sat outside. So yeah, today we're going over to Siren, and this is a collaboration that they did with Lervig. And this is a can, of the Much Ado About Muffin Blueberry Muffin Pale Ale, clocking in at 5.5% ABV. Nothing beats a fresh blueberry muffin, except of course a blueberry muffin beer. Our collaboration with Lervig is suitably bursting with juicy blueberries, and delicate vanilla sweetness is offset by a hoppy citrus finish and subtle lemon undertones throughout, making this pale both indulgent and refreshing all at once. Now of course you can actually pick this up from Morrison's, but this actual can came from Siren themselves. It was part of the Bright Side box series that they were doing. So it's like a collection of sort of seasonal stuff, new brews, and then some core range. So, you know, and the good thing was all the beers were pretty much ones that I'd never reviewed. So I thought, yeah, looking forward to this. Plus, it's a bit of a ball ache for me to get to Morrison's, and Morrison's nearby never has any of the new beers. The closest we get is like the 4-pack of Faith. Mind you, now you can only get the individual cans, so yeah, and it saves me going to the supermarket and risking my health. But yeah, so looking forward to this one. Heard mixed opinions about it, using the Siren glass that came with the box. I'll put Siren's webshop down below. An often overlooked brewery, I find, and I say that as someone who every time he reviews a Siren beer, he basically says, and why am I referring to myself in the third person? I'll always say, like, oh, I need to buy more Siren beers, and just never really do, even though 9 times out of 10 I'm actually absolutely blown away. I had a can of Soundwave last night, and that was tasting really nice, and it had been ages since I'd had that. So yeah, there we go. Beer in the glass then. And yeah, it's a clear beer, but it's got lovely sort of a reddish hue to it. Really nice. I do love a fruited pale or IPA. Something really nice about it. And blueberries in beer, 9 times out of 10, tastes really good. I was going to do like a Clueless Eats episode and actually have a blueberry muffin, but I couldn't find any when I was doing a little bit of a shop, and I couldn't be arsed making any. So yeah, that's that out the window. But you might see a future instalment of Clueless Eats. But yeah, it looks really, really nice there. Just wanted to make sure that I wasn't seeing a different colour with sunglasses on. But yeah, it's also got like a slight coppery look to it as well. Definitely sort of like a West Coast style pale, I would say. And shock horror, it's not hazy. So let's see what we get on the nose. On the nose, they've nailed it. It reminds you of like a blueberry muffin. It really, really does. There's a really nice sweetness coming from that blueberry. It is really evident. Then you get a little bit of a slight citrusy vibe coming from it. Lovely, slightly darker malt presence. Smells good. It smells exactly like you would expect a blueberry muffin inspired beer to smell like, to be honest. So off to a good start. Let's give it a taste. Cheers, folks. One day, I look forward to hearing the news that those yobs have wrapped themselves around a tree or a lamppost. Just hope that no one else is involved in it, of course. Fucking hate that round here. Anyway, enough of the delights of Skelmersdale. Let's give this beer a taste. Cheers, folks. You get the blueberries more like on the aftertaste, I would say. Nice medium mouthfeel. There's like a real sense of smoothness to it, so it's not really overly carved or fizzy. Pale ale wise, there's not much going on, to be honest. It's a really quite simple and reined in beer. And I think I said that, you know, people have been divided by this beer. I think the big thing is when you see that Lervig are involved in this, known for their like big flavours and things like that, both in their IPAs and their stouts. You're probably expecting like a big, you know, intense, like liquefied blueberry muffin, but you kind of get that. So I think that's why people might be a little bit disappointed by this one, just because of their own expectations. I personally think this is a lovely little pale ale, sessionable 5.5%, sort of coming into an IPA territory, maybe with a little bit more hop character. I think that would definitely benefit the beer, or even offset it with a little bit of coffee, because Siren know how to use coffee in their beers. So yeah, I think this definitely would. And I'm not just saying it because I wish every beer in the world had coffee, because I love coffee, but I definitely think it just needs one other little thing to just really help make this beer pop. But for a beer that's now available in the supermarkets, when with summer kind of in flow, even though it's not summer yet, you could do a lot worse than picking up a few cans of this at your local Morrison's. I don't think that there's any difference between the cans you buy directly from Siren and the cans you buy from Morrison's. I think it's all dependent on how the beer's being kept in the supermarket and how fresh on the shelves it is. So that's always one of the risks when it comes to supermarket beers. After a few weeks, once they've been released, you know, you're not too sure whether you've got a really fresh can or like one of the cans from, you know, a couple of months prior. But with it being canned, it's not going to suffer too much. So yeah, I don't see why people have been like bashing this beer. It's not the most flavourful pale ale. There is a little bit of like a slight savoury aftertaste, now that I'm thinking about it, but it's hardly a flaw. I just personally think that it just needs one other little aspect, just to really help make it pop. But yeah, and I'm not just going to base this on being a supermarket beer as well. I think in a beer in its own right, I would happily, you know, pick up a few cans of that. And I'm glad that they included it in the box, to be honest. So it's a nice, simple pale ale, something a tiny little bit different. The blueberry is there. Do you know what I mean? And I'm sure other places have a similar issue with uneducated yobs riding on scooters like dickheads, but whatever. Anyway, rant over. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this beer. We're gearing up to get a barbecue started, and it's going to be long gone before I've even lit the barbecue, to be honest. But yeah, I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. I think that's really, really nice. And in terms of a supermarket beer, highly recommended if you go to Morrison's. I like that. 8.5. Yeah, no, 8 out of 10. I'm going to give it. It's just missing one tiny little thing. Anyway, so if you've tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. Are you a fan of fruited pales? Are you a fan of Siren? You will be seeing a few more Siren videos on the channel, and hopefully in the future, because I've got a lot of time for Siren. From the absolutely gorgeous artwork to the great beers in the glass, and I really hope that even though they won't be able to do their whole barista event, hopefully they'll still be able to release some in cans. If not, if they postpone it for a year, completely understandable. But yeah, definitely a brewery that I will be drinking more of, because I always have a really good experience with them. It's getting a little bit more blueberry now as I'm drinking it, so that character sort of builds. So I might etch it up to an 8.5 because I do like blueberries, even though you wouldn't think I would. with this. Anyway, so yeah, thank you for watching. Go check out Siren. Go check out their web shop. Definitely keep an eye out on the boxes, because for the price you get, I think, either between 8 or 10 beers in a glass. And then you have to pay like about fiver for the postage, but they've got to cover costs. Do you know what I mean? Although I think you get free delivery over orders of 50 quid. So if you're going to add a few more beers or a little bit of merch to your order, you get a nice little set there. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I shall hopefully see you all later. Cheers.